For Alexandra? Yeah. I mean, for me, like, I think acting, like, my approach to it is just being so authentically yourself within the rules and restrictions of a particular character. And this one just happened to be fun and snarky, and I got to use bad language, argue with one of the best arguers out there.
What's it like playing a dad? I mean, how do you prepare for that?
It sucks. I don't like it. I've done it a few times. Fantastic Mr. Fox as a puppet.
Comparing this to that, I just want to make sure I get the point.
Like it was, I did ER for 5 years where I actually played a pediatrician and worked with kid actors. And, Amara was the only kid, that I had to work with. Shailene was the adult on the set. But Amara was funny because she never shot anything in her life. She never worked on a movie, the little one. And she showed up we were on the first day, but one of the first days we're shooting at the club. And they put a big plate of ice cream in front of her, and she's, a 10-year-old, and she just starts scarfing it. She doesn't understand that there's going to be, 10 takes. I didn't tell her, because I thought it was fun. See if she'd swell up in some way. She did. She didn't make the next day, right? Yeah. We got her first sick day. You're all delivering somehow.
Meanwhile, back to George Clooney's Compassion.
Old fuckers.
This has going on online, but I just want to make sure people...
I tell you, that little girl, you will agree, she walked in the room and she was that character, and she was perfect in the film. She was so perfect.
And she hadn't acted before. What made you decide to make that kind of...
And not only that, I hadn't even met her before casting her. I had seen, between the casting director and myself, we'd seen over 300 girls for that part. And sometimes I'd see the audition that a girl might have done with my casting director. I said, yeah, let's bring her in. And then I'd have to meet her and meet these girls. And then by that time, they were so over-rehearsed by their stage parents that they were lifeless and unable to accept any direction. So we were 3 weeks away from shooting, and I happened to be back in Los Angeles for the table read. And while here, I visited the apartment of my second unit cinematographer, just socially, just to say hi. And I told him how it was going, that we were 3 weeks away from shooting and still didn't have a little girl. I said, she'll turn up. After I left, my second unit cinematographer's wife called a friend in the building, who called another friend, who has a sister in Monterey, California, who has a daughter who's a ham bone. And 3 days later, I woke up, I was back in Hawaii, and there was an emailed WMV or whatever it is, and I clicked on it, and there she was. And a minute into it, I said, oh, there she is. And that was it. Wow.
Have you ever done that before? Just take somebody who never worked and just take that kind of writer on them? Your name was? I'm sorry.
Jessica Campbell, who plays the lesbian sister to Leg, and I cast off the tape. Those are the only two significant parts I've cast off the tapes.
But you also gave Chris Klein his first shot too, George.
I did, yeah. Him I spotted in the hallway of a high school that I was scouting when I was looking at all Omaha high schools to see which one we'd shoot in. And he was walking out of a weight room, and the principal introduced him to me. Yeah, the Chris here played Tony in West Side Story. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And I came back to LA and auditioned another 100 guys for that part. Didn't find anyone. What about that guy who played Tony in West Side Story? So I went back and I called up the principal, and he sent me, he said, oh, well, let me put you on with Shirley, in the front office. Just fine. I ended up calling this kid and saying, hi, this sounds like a weird come-on or something, but I actually am a filmmaker, and I'm making this film, and would you mind meeting me at the Omaha Film Commission office and reading some lines of dialogue? And that was Chris Klein.
Well, this is fascinating. I mean, do you like the idea of working with someone who's never done anything before, George? I mean, is that exciting to you?
No. Not in the least.
But yet you did.
No, listen, the minute, first of all, it was nice because Shailene actually really was the parent on the set, in a way, and sort of wrangled her, and it really became part of what the story actually does. She would sort of grab her and, pull her over, go stand over here and say this, and it ended up being a very close set, and Shailene was really and truly kind of the substitute mom in a way for yeah. So that made it a lot nicer.
And Nick.
And Nick, yes, that's true. Nick gave her grass, which I thought was
Was it international waters or something out there, so it was okay? But, I mean, the great thing, though, about the way you play character Nick is he's basically oblivious to everything. He gets punched in the face and he still rolls with it. How did you come up with that way to play the guy?
I toured some of the local high schools around Hawaii. Watch those guys kind of walk like this and talk like this, and just seeing how the island guys were like, and seeing what my friends from high school were like, and kind of sticking them all in one bucket and turning it into a character.
It's kind of funny because between you and Robert, you the two characters who have no secrets. I mean, basically, everything comes out. And it's an interesting sort of thing to have this guy punch this guy. Say something, please.
Yeah, it was in the novel.
One of the things you brought from the novels compared to the things you added on your own.
Yeah, I didn't add a whole lot. I added a few scenes. Oh, well, yeah, we have to make it way a whole lot.
No, but the novel focused a little more on the younger.
Correct, yes. Yeah.
The novelist is in the room.
Is Cowie here?
Is she here?